Hey guys, it's been a while since I filmed, actually a couple of days, and I miss it so much. The reasoning was because a bunch of videos that I filmed, like I try to film only like one, but sometimes I end up filming like 3 a day, just depends on the day and what's going on, and depends on how charged my iPad is. That plays into it sometimes because when my iPad's not that charged, I like freak out and I'm like, I want it to charge so I can continue using it, so then I end up just filming so I'm not bored. But I have 3 fun things. By the way, I'm back on the spinner because what happened with that was that, I went off it as soon as my Poppet got here, my Among Us Poppet. And then what happened was I kind of stayed off of it for the rest of the day because and throughout that day, it was kind of like sometimes I would think about it a little bit, but it wasn't that bad. And then after dance that day, because I'm pretty yeah, I had dance. After dance, or around the time that I started dancing, when it started getting kind of more challenging, only because I kind of was a little, like, out of it. Like, I wasn't upset, and I understood why. Like, something was happening. Basically, we had planned for me to start dancing in the living room, and that is happening, Did it last night. But my mom fell asleep, which makes sense because it went until 10:30 last night. But what happened was, so it went kind of late. She fell asleep around 8, normal, nothing big, so that went good. And then this morning we brought everything back in here. I'm very annoyed about something because I'm gonna get into it in a second. But around the time of dance, and I was getting ready to bring the stuff out because I knew that I was gonna need the dance blocks, the ballet bar, my cheater shoes, and my point shoes. And then my parents went like, sorry, you can't do it out here today. And you can like some other time, but not today, because, which makes sense because like my brother had a thing on him and couldn't log in or something, and that's what kind of happened, and they were watching that. So I did end up filming then. So, but when I was done with dance, I found that I was doing okay without the spinner, or as long as my hands were doing something, which I say totally fine. So, I tested it to see if I was ready, to go back on the spinner, because I didn't know how long I would be off it. It could have been one day, it could have been in 2 weeks, I don't know. And so I picked up my spinner and just did this for a little bit and went so then before I went to bed, I set it down and picked up this, my Among Us Poppet, and I just kind of had it where I could see it, and I did perfectly fine, which usually I would be thinking about, oh, I should pick that up and start using it, And since I did perfectly fine, I went okay, I'll go back on it. And my problem's been fixed since. Now, my bag with the other spinners, is in my parents' bedroom just because I only allow one at a time. love this thing. Highly recommend it. And then yesterday, which was Wednesday, my fidget pad came in. I like that. So first off, you have this little like spinny thing here, but it's kind of a harder spinny thing. Then you have this other spinny thing that's slightly different but really easy to. Then you have this textured part that you can rub your fingers up against. Then you have this thing that kind of springs. Then you have like 4 buttons. We have blue, red, yellow, and green. So, which is always a fun, fidgety thing. Then we have this joystick one. Love this. And then on the back we have this other little spinny thing, which I also love. And this clicky thing. Now it did come with a like thing that you could attach to it, so you can wear it around your wrist. I just threw that away because I have no point for it. But Tuesday night, my mom let me get some. So here's a fun fact. Pretty much, my mom often buys like different things and just saves them for like Christmas and stuff. Cause she likes to get gifts early. I have a birthday gift for my dad in my closet already. The funny thing is my dad's been in my closet and he already knows about it though. But I think he forgot about it. But she often buys them, and sometimes she buys multiple of them, and then realizes that she bought too many, such as this. It's a dancing robot with a disco ball. So she got like 5. No, what happened was she ordered, I want to say like 5, and then we were in a place called Crackle Barrel, which like an old-timey restaurant with the store hooked onto it. And she found a blue one and she got it. And so a bunch of people for like Christmas got one, and she had like 2 left. And I really wanted one because it looks cool. I wanted to name it and stuff. Can't tell you the name because it's literally my crush's name, 5000 and Infinity 2. Yeah, I have a problem with naming everything after my crush, which I'm going to get to in a minute. And it's so, like, she said that I could have one. So I picked them between a blue one or a white one. I like the white one. So I can't turn it on because I don't know if the music is copyrighted or not. And I don't want to get copyrighted. But I love it. It's a dancing robot. Sam absolutely doesn't because he barks at it. We got Sam some pet perfume, which is helpful. Well, it's lime and coconut scent. The only reason that we got was because I want to say like a few days ago, Mom started complaining how Sam smelled. So I was like, okay, I'll give him a bath, get him clean, because it's been a little while. So I did, and she still, she still was complaining that he smelled, and so we gave him another bath, 2 days later. Which, by the way, Sam likes baths. He doesn't like the getting clean part. He likes the part of just getting in the tub and being inside. He loves the water and being in the tub. He doesn't like the soap and the rinsing part. That he can do without and he'll be fine. So he's the type that he likes a bath, but he doesn't because he knows when he gets a bath, he's going to get soap and water dumped on him, and he doesn't like that. He just wants to play in the water, drink the water, or have fun in the water. To him, he seems like the type that would be better off as a pool dog. Because the concept of a pool, pretty much, of just playing in the water and having fun in it, but not have to like get clean with soap and stuff. So what we did was the next day, my dad and me were in school, and then all of a sudden Dad brought that up, and I went like, there's like dog perfumes and pet perfumes, and he's like, there is. So he looked it up and we found one on Amazon. And for like $6 we bought it. It's a pretty big bottle, and it is very long lasting, like to the point where I gave him 2 squirts or when we got it, and one on each side and stuff, and then it lasted him like pretty much the rest of that day and pretty much all day yesterday. So it's a long lasting one, and I like that it's not a very strong smell, but it's a light, like good, enjoyable smell. So yeah, that was a win. But yeah, last night I'm very excited. I found out some information which I've been really needing. So I know that pretty much I know that Abby does an acro class, and I'm pretty sure it's at 12 on Fridays, and also I know Gianna does a class on Friday, but I didn't know the timing of Gianna's class because there's nothing about it. Like with the acro class, there's one that says that it's at 1 o'clock and again at like 5, but there's another, which that one, by the way, for us, I don't know if that's true because I logged on at 12:30 last week, and I stayed on there until like 5:30ish, and then I logged off for food and to order these 2 things, and it never started. So I'm thinking maybe that, like, I have no clue. But last night I put in the chat like asking about what time on Friday, and Gianna Martello told me that it's at 4. Now my question is, she didn't specify if it's California time or our time. I'm hoping it's our time because as 4 o'clock California time means it doesn't start till 7 o'clock our time. But either way, I'm doing it. At this point, my parents created the rule that that when I'm in dance, that's all gonna be on that section. My mom likes to go to bed at like 8, and me and my dad watch like a movie until like 10. And so, but on days that I have dance, if dance goes past like 8 or something, and like, then I just stay up and dance. But then afterwards I change, and then I like get ready to like go into the bed. Now on Wednesdays I don't get to watch a movie because again it doesn't end until 10:30 at night. But yeah, on to the thing about my crush. This is one that I, like, lately, I'm losing it. I'm literally losing it. I feel like if I'm away from him for much longer, or I'm gonna go crazy, because not like I haven't already. And yeah. And I say this because at first I went like, lately I know that like obviously I miss him really a lot, but like it's nothing like that bad. But lately I do. Like I started, or like the other night, I would say like yesterday, or something, like either yesterday or the day before, when it hit me like, okay, this is increasingly getting worse in here. Why? Because it was yesterday, because I got the robot on Tuesday. So like yesterday, and well Tuesday night I got this, and I named it after my crush, like because I named everything after that, and yeah, and I have a tendency to name everything after my crush, and also after like I'll often name things like our ship name because yeah, like because I know what our ship name would be, and it's actually a good one. Like I'm saying, I like all like I feel like ship name and Richard's names combined. I feel like there's some out there that are kind of weird, but also good. Like I weird, but really good at the same time. But like it's not like it's definitely a little bit of a weirder one, but like really good. But then there's others that actually just sound like an actual name. You know, like some of them sound like you're like some sort of word, but you can tell that it doesn't sound like a name too much. Kind of just like, but it's good. Nothing up against those people. Still incredible. And the point that I'm proving here is basically that ours is one that I feel like if you hear it, it sounds more like an actual name that like you would name someone or something, versus some that are kind of more random but still fabulous. You know, every name is fabulous. So yeah, I name everything out to the point where every year for Christmas my parents have always put like an angel on top of the tree. And what happened was that like I want to say not this last year, but like the year before, we got a new one because my sister had the old one, and like if she's watching it, fine, you can have it because we got a new one, and I'm like, we have to name it, and my dad's like, okay, and you can come up with a name, and then I told him, and he went like, at first I named it after my crush, and he went like, can you pick a different one? And when you already have over 1,000 different things named that, and I'm like, okay, and so then I said our ship name, and he went like, okay, that's somewhat better. Because he didn't realize that it was still a reference to it. But yeah, the other night, like Tuesday night, is when I named this robot after my crush. And that night, I had a dream, and I got really disappointed, and because then, and I woke up from my dream. And it was a good one, and that, I feel like whenever I have a dream about like me and my crush, it always ends bad. It always ends where everyone ends up dying. And all because of COVID or something, like all for like some weird reason. Or like very common reason situation. And and for once it wasn't. Basically all that happened in the dream was that I started going back to my like reading tutor, but it wasn't for reading. It was for like something else. I'm pretty sure it was like spelling or something. And yeah, and like somehow I started talking a lot about my crush, and somehow like he was going to see her for like some sort of tutoring reason too, and then like somehow she ended up like surprising me, and like it was a weird dream. And it was a weird dream, and I woke up and I got very disappointed because I went like, man, and it was just a dream. And most of the time, when someone says, "Oh, it's just a dream," it means that they don't want the dream to actually be real. And this is the one time that I was like, eh. I'm gonna actually kind of finish this video kind of quick because I want to add on to up there. So I have to find more images and stuff to put up there, and then yeah. And I'm gonna have my dad take down that moon because it is cool, but I wanna extend it all the way across. But since I know I can't do that today because that involves a lot of printer ink and a lot of paper and stuff, and yeah. So today I'm gonna do 5 pages, which gives me a lot. So we can make a pretty good amount across. But yeah. And then yesterday was a very fun day. Yesterday I got out of school early because of family pretty much, which was fun. No, what happened was that in our house, there's rules oh, I can get out of school, if it's a day that, my parents are busy and, my dad has to, get groceries and, pay bills and, those sort of days. But then also if family comes and I get really excited and really want to see them, situation, that situation. And the only reason that became a rule is because I'm the type that getting me to really stay focused in class is kind of a little bit challenging sometimes. And when family's here, it's you're not getting me to focus at all. Not even the slightest. Well, it really depends on what family. And so, yesterday, Dad let me out of school because of family. Because Skylar's mom and her older brother that is actually my age and I grew up with and came over along with his girlfriend. Because he had a doctor's appointment and she didn't have school situation. So that was a fun little thing. I'm gonna go add on to that. And at first I was worried I may not have time, but I'll work it in.